is something that keeps us away from the fashai wal munkar. And then he closes that short part by saying that the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is great. This dhikr that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here by some scholars is said to mean the salah, but it can mean the dhikr in general, much remembrance of Allah. And there are conditions that we have to understand should be met under these circumstances, and it's like medicine that's used to cure a disease. When this medicine is prescribed, it has two conditions. And these conditions are one, that the medicine has to be taken as prescribed on a regular basis by this doctor. Secondly, the person that is ill cannot be doing anything that would nullify the effects of the medicine, because then he doesn't gain the benefits of the medicine. So this remembrance and staying away from fashai wal munkar, we have to follow prescriptions such as this. Also, the scholars have said in this case that there are three things that we have to keep in mind. One of those things is that we have to keep in mind the sharia of these things, the laws of these things, that we have to do it accordingly to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. And another ayah that used to support this first ayah is that how great it is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what? If you remember me, I will remember you. Subhanallah. What a great thing to be remembered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jalla. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, in a short hadith, I'll end with this, is that he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he said, Su'il ya Rasulullah, ma mujahideen azim ajr. He said, which warriors get the greatest reward? And he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, the one who akhbaruhum Allahu ta'ala dhikr, that the one who remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala often, the most. And this is in every act what we do. We shouldn't think about thinking about Allah in salah or in the majalis of dhikr, but everything that we do, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam remembered Allah azza wa jalla. So he said, the one who remembers Allah most. And then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he said, the Sahaba's questioned Rasulullah. He said, what about Salah? What about Zakat? What about Hajj? What about Sadaqah? And each time he said the same thing to them. The one who remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala, the one who remembers Allah most. And then, subhanAllah, it's always amazing, and it makes me smile when you look at the behavior and the thought of our great predecessors, the Sahaba. It says that Abu Bakr Siddiq, he turned to Umar, Ya Abu Hafsa. He said, those invokers are taking all the good. SubhanAllah. Very easy. That the greatest warrior. And there was another hadith that in my mind I was thinking and wanted to reflect because of the wording. When the companion asked him, he said, which mujahideen? Which mujahideen? Which warriors? Not the warriors that are necessarily fighting, we know, jihad fi sabilillah, but which warriors get the best reward? He talked about in general. And he used there was another hadith in which the Prophet was asked, and he used the word ginama. What ginama, what reward or recompense to the people who sit majalis and dhikr? Ginama is usually a word used for those who receive the booty from the battle. And he asked him, which ginama do people who sit in circles receive? And he said, Jannah. SubhanAllah. So I think about the ending of the first ayah that the Sheikh recited in Salah, and it was the great reminder of the reward that Allah Azza wa Jalla has in store for us. SubhanAllah. If we do the things that we're supposed to do, and that reward is Jannah Ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give us Jannah, where we will remain forever and ever and ever with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for our ummah, make things easy for us because we're in challenging times, that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we do everything right according to His rules and His regulations and His laws, that we guard our tongues and we say the things that are correct or remain silent. Because we're in hard times now, we know, with the struggle of our brothers now doing things not only in Palestine, but in all of the world. But people now are going to ask your opinion and what side do you take and all of these things. And this is a very complicated situation that many of us don't understand everything involved. So we sometimes should remain silent and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that people do things right, that they do things according to the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jalla commands, that we don't transgress limits even when we are fighting and doing things in retaliation for the things that are being done to us. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had rules and guidelines and regulations on how to respond to these atrocities that are being committed against our ummah, because we should not turn around and become people who are involved in zulm and ill doings and wrong things, but we do have to defend ourselves and defend Islam and stand up for our rights and defend things that belong to us. This is the rights that we have, but we should be careful how we do this, because He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never retaliated in response to things that are being done to Him that was personal. It always had to do with Allah Azza wa Jal. And as I said, reminding and keeping Allah in mind in everything that we do, so that we will do it right and we will gain the ajr and the help and the rewards of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the hopes that He may do like He did with our predecessors, send the malaika with us in battle to defeat those who are doing wrong against this ummah, to extinguish Islam and to extinguish us right, that we may be among those people who do the things that are right in this ummah, to bring a balance back to it all. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.